What's up with it, everybody? You tune in to another episode of Everything Boxing. I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. What's up with it, everybody? Let me let some people, know I'm off in the building and we can get the show started. And when you come in the building, let me know you in the building, drop your name, let me know where you coming from. Let me see who we got. Kenneth Wise off in the building. What's good with it? We got Dom Reeks off in the building, coming all the way from that Colchester, England. What's up? Salute. Salute my brother from the UK. And y'all do me a favor. If y'all watching from Facebook, share this to all your boxing groups for me if you watching from Facebook. And if you watching on YouTube, hit my like button. It only take a second to smash that like button. And it don't even cost you nothing. Like I said, give me about another minute and we're going to go ahead and get the show started because, I got some things that we got to talk about. And matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, if we gonna do things a little different this time. Scotty White, salute, and y'all go subscribe to my man Scotty White. Yeah, okay, we gonna do things a little different this time. What I'm gonna do today, because I'm gonna be talking about, Canelo. You see it coming across the screen. I'm gonna be talking about Eddie Hearn offering Jermall Charlo offer also. And I know, when we get to talk about Canelo and Eddie Hearn and Jermall Charlo, a lot of people, it's an argument. It's an argument that comes up. It gets real heated and it gets disputed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my email in the description. If anybody want to come in and join me, all you got to do is send me your email, Matter of fact, if anybody want to join me, all you got to do is send me your email and I'll go ahead and add you in. So with that being said, with all of that being said, hold on, y'all. Let me see. With all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and get the show started off, okay? Let me see. Dumb Reek says, Canelo says Murata fight isn't happening. He's waiting on BJ Sanders to agree. That ain't what I heard. That fight is actually finalized. So basically, the news came out, okay, that Canelo, if everybody want to know who Canelo's next opponent is, Canelo is going to be fighting Ryota Murata, okay? A lot of people don't even know who this is. A lot of people don't even know who Ryota Murata is. That's who Canelo is fighting next. In Japan, they said that the deal is finalized. They're going to be fighting in Japan, and the fight is going to take place on May the 23rd, right? And it's that's in the US. So it'll be May 23rd for everybody that's in the US, but in Japan, it'll be on the 24th, I believe. Okay. So it'll be May 23rd in the US and May 24th in Japan. Okay. So this is the thing. This is the thing. I got a problem with this. I got a huge problem with this, you know, and for a long time, you know, I was defending Canelo. See, Garen Farmar says it's easy money. See, this is the thing. Canelo is getting paid 36 million plus whether he fights. It don't matter who he fights. But see, this is the thing, okay? Before I even cook on this, you know, this bullshit fight that's happening, before I even get into the bullshit fight that's happening, because I got a big problem with this as a boxing fan, okay? When people were getting on Canelo about accepting that franchise title and everything, okay? Mauricio Suleiman of the WBC, he said the reason that Canelo was being granted a franchise title is so Canelo wouldn't have to face any of his mandatory opponents. This is what Mauricio Suleiman said. He said that he's granting Canelo that bullshit franchise title so he wouldn't have to face any of his mandatories. So he would be able to fight the best fights in boxing. The best fights in boxing. Listen to what I'm saying. That he would be able to fight the best fights in boxing and not have to worry about any mandatory opponents. Because we all know sometimes a mandatory comes up and it's not a fighter, it's not a fight that the fans want to see. But in order for, you know, these fighters to hold on to the belt, they have to fight the mandatory. So what Mauricio Suleiman did is he said he was granting Canelo the franchise title so he wouldn't have to be worried about fighting the mandatory if a mandatory came up and the mandatory might be a bomb. And also so Canelo could move up and down in weight and fight whoever he wanted to fight and make the best fights in boxing. Okay, that's what Mauricio Suleiman told us. So, you know, I'm like, okay, bet. I'm not going to get on here and I'm not going to complain about it. You know, I know Canelo gets a lot of, he gets a lot of hate from a lot of people. And I've been one ever since Canelo took that Triple G fight. And to me, the first Triple G fight, I had to fight a draw. You know, a lot of people said he lost. I watched the fight like 5 or 6 times and I had to fight a draw. I gave Canelo his respect. A lot of people were shitting on Canelo. I gave him his respect. That made me become a Canelo fan once again. Because, see, with me, when Canelo came out, I was a big Canelo fan for years. For years, I was a big Canelo fan. And then I began to despise Canelo. Like, I didn't like Canelo at all. You know, and the reason why is because I felt that Canelo was ducking a lot of the fighters at 154. I felt that Canelo was using his power way too much, using catch weights, and he wasn't fighting the best opponents. At 154 pounds, I felt Canelo was ducking opponents. Period. I mean, and I felt like Canelo was getting decisions that he didn't deserve. I felt that Canelo lost to Lara. I felt that I also felt that Canelo lost to Austin Trout barely, or it could have been a draw. So, I didn't like Canelo for a long time. And then when Canelo was ducking, I felt that at the point in time, I felt that Canelo was ducking Triple G. Okay. But when Canelo took the fight against Triple G, okay, I was like, okay, I'm gonna show him his respect, especially how he performed against Triple G. And then when he went to me and clearly beat Triple G the second fight, I was like, okay, I was wrong about Canelo. I was wrong about Canelo. Canelo don't deserve all of the, hate that he's getting. I came out and I said I was wrong. I said, Canelo, he really out here showing out. He showed to me at that point in time, he showed that he was really about that business. He showed that he was about that business. The way he went out there and fought Triple G toe to toe and had Triple G backing up. Because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I had a $10,000 bet on that first Triple G fight. I didn't win anything and I didn't lose anything because it was a draw. I had a $10,000 bet with one of my other friends. We bet a lot on boxing. At that point in time, we actually used to bet a whole lot on boxing. And, we all know what happened. Whatever. Some people say that it was a draw. I say it was a draw. A lot of people say Triple G won. And, Canelo felt that he won. But like I said, they ran it back. And to me, Canelo won that fight clearly. So I gave Canelo his respect. I was like, all this shit that people talking about Canelo, he showed that he really the truth. That's how I felt at that point in time. Now lately, fast forward, people been giving Canelo a lot of flack. They've been dating a lot of people. And hit my like button. If you watching me on YouTube, hit the like button. It don't take you no time. Hit that like button, But back to me cooking. A lot of people at the point in time, recently, these past recent 2 year after he fought Triple G, we had people that were saying that he was ducking the third fight with Triple G. Personally, I didn't want to see that shit. I didn't want to see him fight Triple G a third time because I felt that he beat Triple G clearly the second time. And I also felt that Triple G need to get the fuck on somewhere and stop chasing Canelo around because I feel that it's guys out there that Triple G is ducking, So, but that's a whole nother, it's a whole nother topic in itself. But anyway, so Canelo was getting a lot of flack when he went and fought Rocky Fieldhand. I didn't like that fight, but I'm like, okay, it's cool. He taking a fight in between, he taking a fight in between, just kind of a stay active fight. He see an easy move to get a title at 168 pounds. Cool. I'm not gonna talk shit about it. Cool. I'm cool. I'm a Canelo fan. So I'm not going to get on him about that. I'm a Canelo fan. Then he fights Triple G or whatnot. And I feel, like I said, I felt that he beat Triple G the second time clearly, right? Then everybody's like, okay, who is Canelo going to fight next? Then he moves up all the way up to 175. I'm sorry. He moves up to 175 and he fights Sergey Kovalev, right? I've seen Sergey Kovalev live ringside both times when he fought Andre Ward. I watched Sergey Kovalev his whole career. It didn't matter what nobody said to me. Sergey Kovalev was a beast. Okay. It didn't matter. Sergey Kovalev had just knocked out, 2 fights before. He had just knocked out Alverez, right? Then he goes and KOs. He KOs the young buck from the UK. Okay, so I'm like, Sergey Kovalev is still dangerous. It don't matter what people saying. I'm gonna give Canelo his respect, for Sergey Kovalev, whatever. But then I saw the Sergey Kovalev fight, and I'm like, the shit just wasn't right. To me, I still feel that Sergey Kovalev took a payoff. He said it himself. Basically, Sergey Kovalev came out and he said, anybody is stupid to think that I was going to win that fight. Like, anybody that picked me to win, they stupid. That let me know that Sergey Kovalev took the money to throw that fight. I still to this day don't think that Canelo had nothing to do with it. But I think that Sergey Kovalev knew what he was doing. I mean, if you go back and watch that fight, if you go watch it, it don't have to be explained. It's right there in your face, But anyway, what I'm getting to is I still was a Canelo fan. I'm like, Canelo's still the truth. But what I said, let's wait before I say anything about Canelo bad. I'm gonna wait to see what Canelo's next move is. We got Charlo been calling him out, begging him for a fight. Charlo been his mandatory for over 2 years, right? We got Demetrius Andrade right there in the zone, right next to him, been calling him out for years. These two guys been calling Canelo out since they was at 154 pounds. People been accusing Canelo of ducking these guys for like the past 5 years or more, right? But I'm still like, okay, cool. I'm still going to wait to see what Canelo does in his next fight. I'm like, cool. I'm not going to say nothing bad about Canelo. If you know me, y'all ain't never heard me say anything bad about Canelo. But, right? But, so now I'm like, okay, let me sit back and let me see what Canelo does his next. What is he gonna do in May? This is what I'm saying. Y'all haven't even really heard me say nothing about Canelo. I'm sitting back and I'm like, what is he gonna do come May? Who is he gonna fight? Is he gonna move? Is he gonna go to 168? Is he gonna fight one of these killers at 168? Is he gonna stay at 175 and fight one of these killers at 175? Or is he finally gonna give Jermall Charlo his shot, or Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade his shot? Well, Canelo comes out and he lets everybody know right off the bat that he's not facing Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. His reason is, oh, nobody knows Demetrius Andrade. He's a boring fighter. I'm not fighting him. And I had a problem with that, but I'm like, okay, I'm still giving Canelo the benefit of the doubt. I'm still like, all right, cool. I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm still not going to come on here and shit on Canelo. We still got Charlo out there. Maybe he'll make a fight with Charlo. If he doesn't move up and fight one of these other killers at 168 or, 175. Cool. Then I start hearing talks about, well, Canelo's trying to finalize the fight with Billy Joe Saunders. And I'm like, man, I don't like that fight. I'm like, I don't want to see him fight no Billy Joe Saunders, for the simple reason is Billy Joe Saunders ain't been shit since he got caught on PEDs, but Billy Joe Saunders can box. He can still box, So, I mean, even though I didn't like the fight, it is what it is, Then that's off the table. We hear that fight is not going to happen. And I'm glad that fight's not going to happen. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Canelo finna show everybody that he really about what he say he about. And he really finna show everybody that he going to fight one of these killers. He finna come out here and fight one of these killers. It don't matter what weight it is. He finna fight a killer. Then what do we get? We get the news that Canelo is fighting Ryota Murata. Who? I know who it is, but who? Ryota Murata. And I'm like, nah, maybe, maybe that's not true. Maybe he ain't really fighting this dude. I don't want to call him a bum, but maybe he ain't fighting this walking punching bag. That's what he is. Ryota Murata is a one-trick pony, and he's a walking punching bag. He's going to stand in front of you, walk forward, and get hit a million times and try to hit you. That's all that's all he is a walking punching bag. And I'm like, I know Canelo ain't gonna fight this dude. No, not the almighty Canelo, not the Canelo that Mauricio Suleiman came out and told us that he's granting Canelo a franchise title because the franchise champion is the champion that doesn't have to fight any mandatories, because the franchise champion is the champion that's gonna fight all of the best fighters at any weight class they choose to go up and down that. Now, I'm here to let y'all know this is some bullshit. Ryota Murata, if you don't know who he is, okay, and you probably don't know who Rob Brand is, okay, Ryota Murata, I already told you that he's a punching bag. All he do is walk forward. He throw a lot of punches. He don't have no defense. His defense is his face. And he is nothing special about him. The only thing special about him is this guy walks forward nonstop and he throw a million punches, and that's it. He don't have no defense. He don't have no footwork. He don't have no tremendous speed about him. He got some power, and that's about it. This is some pure bullshit. In this, now I'm back to, now I'm back to why I didn't like Canelo years ago in the first place, because Canelo got that fucking money from the zone, and now he's doing whatever he wants to do. Cassandra Mason, what's up with it, Cassandra Mason? Now, Cassandra Mason is a big Triple G fan, all right? She know how I feel about Triple G. I don't like Triple G, it is what it is. And I did want to see Canelo against Triple G a third time. But I would much rather see Canelo versus Triple G a third time than this bullshit right here. I don't want to see this bullshit. Ryota Murata, and on top of that, they fighting in Japan, okay? They fighting in Japan. Oh, yeah, Ralph, I see you. Before Canelo, I forgot about that. Canelo fought Daniel Jacobs before, okay? So that's another reason you made me remember, Ralph. That's another reason why I was kind of pissed off how everybody was hating on Canelo, because I'm like, okay, well, he fought Daniel Jacobs. You can't shit on him for fighting Daniel Jacobs. So, yeah, he fought Daniel Jacobs, but he fought Rocky Philhand too, right? He fought Rocky Philhand too. So that's one strike, right? He fought I didn't give him a strike for fighting I didn't give him a strike for fighting Kovalev, because like I said, even though Kovalev is a piece of shit, I've always thought highly of Kovalev inside the ring. But then when I saw that Kovalev fight, I'm like, okay, Kovalev was on some bullshit. Kovalev went in there, and whatever he had with his team, he agreed with his team that he was going to go in there and throw that fight. Whether y'all want to, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, period. I don't think that Canelo had nothing to do with it, so I ain't give Canelo a strike with that. Okay? But with this bullshit, he gets 2 strikes. Okay, you don't come and fight no Ryota Murata. This guy, Ryota Murata, okay, he's already lost to Robert Brandt. Okay, Robert Brandt ain't that. I mean, he all right. Robert Brandt's okay. I like Robert Brandt as a fighter, but he is not a top. He's not a top tier fighter. Robert Brandt is a C+, B- fighter. Robert Brandt is a fighter that's already lost before himself, besides losing the rematch to Ryota Murata. Like, this is some bullshit. And this goes back to everything people were saying about Canelo. It's starting to be true. It looked like now that Canelo then got this money that he don't give a damn about who he fights. For real. Kenneth Wise. Yeah, man. Ryota Murata, his defense is blocking punches with his mouth in his face. And Isaiah Johnson says Canelo has a million stipulations when you're when you're an elite fighter. He says it's either weight situation, etc. Golden Boy knows how to protect their fighters, and that's some real shit, Isaiah Johnson. And that's another thing. He always got a million stipulations before he fights you. And a lot of people like to compare Canelo to Mayweather. Mayweather fought everybody when Pretty Boy was coming up. It was fighting everybody. Mayweather took the hard road, okay? Canelo got put on by Mayweather. So you can't compare Canelo and Mayweather. The bullshit that Canelo's doing, it's uncalled for. You know, it's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. And you know what I'm saying? And you know what? You know what? I might not even watch this fucking fight. I might not even watch this fight. Because this fight, this shit right here, he's telling everybody that he don't give a damn about the U.S. boxing fans. He don't give a damn about what we want to see, who we want him to fight. He don't give a damn about his fans. All he give a damn about is getting that bag. Okay, they're giving you all this money to fight this fucking bum, to fight this dude. Come on now, let me see what y'all talking about in the chat, because like I'm hot about this. Let me see. Garrett Farmer says it's all about money, easy money. Yeah, obviously. But where do we as fans come in? We the ones that pay for them. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be making this big money. You feel me? If we don't tune in, if we don't watch this shit, it ain't gonna be too much more Canelo. That's what we need to do as fans. We need to come together as fans and be like, look, we're not about to watch this shit. Hey, they'll get the picture real quick. If don't nobody watch it, they'll get the picture real quick. And then they taking it over in Japan. Like, yeah, take that bullshit to Japan. Because we here in the US, we ain't supporting that shit. Let me see. Kenneth Wise says, I'd love to see EJ fight Canelo. The fight seems more doable than EJ versus Bud. Yeah, I mean, but you know, that fight in that fight, I think that fight would have happened if Errol Spence hadn't have gotten that accident, because right now we would have been probably talking about Errol Spence just having another major big pay-per-view, and you know, he will be right on pace to fight in May, fight somebody like Canelo in May. But you know, things happen. Let me see. Dayton Henry Jr. says Triple G's out of his prime. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he is. Of course, he's not in his prime no more, but I still feel that Canelo beat him. Cassandra Mason says Charlo deserves his shot. Yeah, but now we see the type of shit that Canelo's on. Canelo don't want to see, and now I'm starting to look at this whole Triple G and Canelo situation differently, because Golden Boy and Canelo, the matchmaking with Canelo, it's starting to all pan out, because they saw that Triple G wasn't all of what everybody thought that, or what everybody was saying Triple G was. And Daniel Jacobs showed that. Daniel Jacobs showed that if you really, have defense, if you really got defense and you come to fight Triple G, he's not no killer like at that point in time, at this point, he's not no killer like everybody was saying. We saw Triple G. To me, Triple G got beat in his last fight. Okay? Triple G got beat in his last fight. So with that being said, Triple G style is a style that's kind of pretty much tailor-made for Canelo. So now we kind of seeing why Canelo fight a guy like Charlo, or he won't, or he said he's refusing to fight Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. I don't like Doo Doo Andrade, but I think that Doo Doo Andrade will beat the shit out of Canelo, because we all know, if you've been watching Canelo throughout his career, we know that Canelo has problems with fighters that can box at an elite A+ level and move, and has great footwork. And Boo Boo Andrade has both. And Boo Boo Andrade is hard to hit. That's a nightmare matchup for Canelo. But let's go back to what Mauricio Sulaiman said. He said that he gave Canelo the franchise title so he can fight the biggest and toughest fights out there. Well, Charlo, that seemed like the biggest and toughest fight out there to me. Boo Boo Andrade, it's not so much as the biggest fight, because let's keep it 100. If you're not a diehard boxing fan, you don't know who the fuck Boo Boo Andrade is. I'm gonna just keep it 100. No matter how good he is, if you're not a diehard boxing fan, you don't know who he is. So that's cool. It's not the biggest fight, but it's the toughest fight. So on one hand, you got the toughest fight. On the other hand, you got a big fight and a tough fight with Charlo. So, and you choose this bullshit. Now, I know what everybody, I know what all the, Golden Boy gonna say. And then everybody that's diehard Canelo fans that he can do no wrong, they're going to say, oh, it's a money grab. It's because they have it in Japan. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't care where it is. It's a bullshit fight. Ryota Murata? Come on now. If y'all don't know who he is, y'all do me a favor. Y'all go to YouTube when you get a chance. Not right now, because we in here cooking right now. So don't leave my show to go to YouTube to watch this fucking fight. But y'all go to YouTube when you get a chance and just Google, go type in Ryota Murata versus Rob Brandt. Okay? Ryota Murata versus Rob Brandt. Go and watch that fight. Okay? And that'll show you who he is. And he ain't shit. He's not shit when it comes to, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like every fighter, I got respect for every fighter. They put their lives on the line. They all got skills to make it to the level that they're at. So when I say that he's not shit, I'm not saying it in that aspect. I'm saying it in the aspect of for him to be on the level of fighting somebody like Canelo. Okay? He's not at that level. For Canelo to be that he's on the level that where he's at, for him to be picking a guy like Ryota Murata to fight, it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. It's completely crazy for him to be picking a guy like that to fight. Let me see what y'all saying. Okay, so let me get through some of these comments. Pooh Dango said it's because DAZN gave him too long of a deal. Oh shit, hold on. Yeah, but I mean, that's crazy. This shit is crazy. Dayton Henry says that southpaws are always avoided. I think he's talking about Boo Boo Andrade, I think. Let me see what my boy Ralph says. He says before Canelo fought Kovalev, he fought Jacobs, who was the number 260 pounder. Okay, both Charlo and Boo Boo haven't beaten any top middleweights yet. It does not matter, Ralph. Okay, I know you're a Canelo fan. Okay, I was a huge Canelo fan before I heard this bullshit. Let's keep it real as a boxing fan. You don't want to, Ralph. Come on, my Ralph. Ralph, my dude. This my dude. But Ralph, don't lie to yourself. You know you don't want to see this shit. You don't respect this. He says Charlo was offered to fight Canelo, and no, Charlo was not offered to fight Canelo. That's a lie. Charlo was offered a fight Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Okay, Charlo was never offered no fight to fight Canelo. That is a lie. Charlo wasn't offered no fight to fight Canelo. He was offered a fight to fight Boo Boo Andrade. Now he says, I believe this is true as Charlo has also turned down a bout with Andrade. Okay, that's a whole nother story. We gonna get into that. But Charlo was never offered no fight to fight Canelo. That's a lie. Okay. And then he says Andrade can't sell out arenas. Boxing is a business. Andrade undercard looks better than this main event fight. Than his main event fights. Okay. Does Ryota Murata, does anybody know who he is? No. So it ain't no excuse for this shit. You a boxing fan, Ralph, okay? Just like we all are. This is a spit in your face because don't nobody want to see this shit. We know, we already, okay, when he fought Rocky Philhand, okay? When he fought the bullshit fight with Rocky Philhand, we made that same excuse for him when he fought Rocky Philhand. You don't get another excuse like that. Period. You know, it ain't no excuse that he can make for this fight. Oh, we're doing it for the fans in Japan. The fans in Japan wasn't calling to see Canelo fight in Japan. Period. The fans in Japan, they still worried about, you know, who, if Mayweather gonna come back and fight somebody. Isaiah Johnson says Canelo did fight Triple G in his prime. This dude makes a lot of excuses fighting when, you know, for fighting. He makes a lot of excuses for not fighting Charlo. And then he says he won't fight the best at any weight class. So the only win recently and giving him that he's giving him, the only credit he's giving him for a recent win is Daniel Jacobs. Yeah, really, if you really look at what happened in the fight with Sergey Kovalev coming out basically admitting that he threw the fight by saying that if anybody picked him to win, they was a damn fool, right? So to me, that's admitting, like, why would you pick me to win? I wouldn't go. That's like, I took this fight for the money. I wouldn't go and even try to win. Okay, Sergey Kovalev said it himself. Okay, so if you look at that, the only fight you can really give him credit for was Daniel Jacobs. And I mean, he didn't do nothing special in that fight with Daniel Jacobs. I think Daniel Jacobs is a guy that gets in big fights, and he really just can't perform in big fights. He can't really pull the trigger. That fight was, you know, a lot of people said it was a lackluster performance by Canelo and by Daniel Jacobs. Like, Canelo won that fight. Yeah, he won the fight clearly to me, but he didn't do anything to win that fight. He just showed that his defense with his skill level was better than with Daniel Jacobs. Like, he didn't really hurt Daniel Jacobs. It wasn't nothing special. He won that fight, so we got to give him credit for it, period. Because Daniel Jacobs ain't no bum. However we want to look at that fight, Daniel Jacobs ain't no bum. But I mean, he didn't win by a large margin, you know, and it is what it is. But this fight, this is bullshit. You can't be on the level of Canelo and as young as Canelo is, okay? We're not talking about a lot of people, Floyd Mayweather. That's what everybody, Floyd Mayweather. This don't got nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather. We're not talking about a 37-year-old Floyd Mayweather, okay? 38, 39-year-old Floyd Mayweather, okay? Floyd Mayweather wasn't doing shit like this at Canelo's age. How old is Canelo? What, 27? Canelo, what, is 27? So a 27, 28-year-old Canelo shouldn't be fighting bullshit fights like this at the level that he is. Canelo at this age, in his prime, you know, he should be fighting the best fights out there. Floyd Mayweather was fighting guys moving up in weight, fighting guys like Oscar De La Hoya at that age. Floyd Mayweather was calling out all of the best fighters in boxing at that age. So let's not get on here talking about, well, Floyd Mayweather. Nah, this ain't got nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was showing that he was the truth, even though I don't give a damn about Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that knows me know I don't give inside the ring. Floyd Mayweather was one of the best ever. Outside of the ring, I could give a damn about Floyd Mayweather. So let's not say like, oh, well, you just a Floyd Mayweather lover, because it ain't that. But I'm going to keep it 100. Let me see what else y'all talking about. Kenneth Wise says, for live boxing, this is my #1 favorite channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support, Kenneth Wise. Rashawn Lunsford says, do y'all think he threw the fight? Oh yeah, you heard what I said about the fight with Sergey Kovalev. Rashawn Lunsford said, you taking Fury? Nah, I'm not talking Fury and Wilder today. You know, we gonna get on Fury and Wilder. You know, we got a lot. We in the upcoming days and weeks. You know, we got a lot to talk about with the Fury and Wilder. Oh yeah, now, but before I get to finish what we was talking about, speaking of the Fury and Wilder, make sure y'all tune in the weekend of Fury and Wilder, because I will be at the Fury and Wilder fight. I will be at that fight, but I want y'all to tune in because Adrian Carter, I don't think he in here. He might be watching, but he bet me $1,000. We got $1,000 bet. He said he not going to the fight, but he said he gonna meet me out. So let's not let him off the hook. He said he gonna meet me out in Vegas for us to make the bet. And when we make that bet, I'm going to document it on here so everybody can see it. All right. So he can't run and he can't hide. So everybody can see us make the $1,000 bet with each other. Because I'm about what I say I'm about. But anyway, let's go back to what we was talking about. Let me see. Joseph Jackson says, okay. Garrett Farmer says Canelo versus Benavidez be a good fight. Yeah, but we already know that ain't gonna happen. Canelo ain't, he don't want no smoke like that. Obviously, he's showing that he don't want nothing like that. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let me get to some of these. Okay, Adrian Carter. Oh, he watching. So you hear me, Adrian. Don't you? I'm gonna be hitting you in your inbox to make sure that we still on, because I think that's gonna be real interesting for everybody to be able to see that. And let me see. Okay, Ralph, my boy Ralph Estrada. He says, I agree with you on Murata fight. He says, I don't like it. He says it's a garbage fight. However, if I'm not mistaken, Murata is ranked higher than all three past opponents of Charlo and Andrade if this fight takes place. I'm not watching it either. Okay. I know my boy Ralph. He's a huge Canelo fan, but he gonna keep it 100. And I can respect that. I respect that, Ralph, for you keeping it 100. But see, this is the thing, okay? Nobody's saying that we all know that Boo Boo Demetrius Andrade, he don't fight nothing but bombs. But it's a reason for that, because guys like Canelo refused to fight him. So, and then Charlo. And I'm gonna get on Charlo, because I'm not finna take Charlo. And like I said, even though I'm a huge Charlo fan and it's Lions Den only off in here, everybody know what it is with me. I'm not finna take Charlo fighting another motherfucking bum either. And I'm not saying that Brandon Adams was a bum, because I got a lot of respect for Brandon Adams. And really, I'm not finna take Charlo fighting another Dennis Hogan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna take Charlo fighting another Dennis Hogan. I don't want to see that shit neither. So if Charlo come out here and he fight another opponent like a Dennis Hogan, I'm gonna get on his ass too. Even though Charlo my dude, and I'm a huge Charlo fan, but at the end of the day, if I'm gonna get on here and talk boxing, if I'm gonna get on here and report this boxing and everything, I have to keep it 150 straight down the middle. So, but we don't know who Charlo fighting yet. So let's get to who Charlo fighting, you know what I'm saying, when that time comes. But right now we talking about Canelo, and Canelo got a history of this bullshit. Let me see. Kenneth Wise says 1,000 ducks Crawford. I don't think, Crawford, I'm not going to say that Canelo is ducking Crawford just because of the simple fact is that Canelo and Crawford probably will never fight. Crawford came out himself and he says that he's not moving up to 154 or 160. And I don't have no problem with that. That's a whole nother, subject in itself, and I don't have no problem with it. Rashawn Lunsford says, I think if he fights a dude like he says, I think if he fights a dude like that, it's have to be with the ladder in his contract. He can't risk losing this early into the long and with his long-term contract he signed. Okay, basically what Rashawn Lunsford is telling you is that the reason that Canelo is fighting guys like Murata, whatever the dude name is because he signed a long-term contract, that's paying him all that money, and he can't risk losing this early. But I have a problem with that, because if you putting the dude in my face, right, and you telling me that he's number one pound for pound, you also telling me that he's the best in boxing. He's number one pound for pound. So if I got a fighter that I truly believe is the best fighter in boxing in his weight class in 168 also, wherever he chooses to fight, because they gave him the franchise title so he can fight at 168 to 175, wherever he chooses to fight. If you telling me that he's the best fighter, let's just say in 168, because he ain't even got to move up. Okay, cool. If you telling me that he's the best fighter in 160 pounds, okay, I'm sorry, at 160, because he don't got to move up. That's his choice. If you telling me that he the best fighter at 160, right? That means that I'm not taking no chance. It don't matter who I get in the ring with. If I'm the best fighter at 160, I believe I'm the best fighter. My promoters believe I'm the best fighter. That means I'm not taking no chance because I can whoop whoever I'm getting in the ring with. So that's not no excuse. I can whoop whoever I get in the ring with if I'm the best. And then I know other people going to say, well, it ain't Canelo. It's the zone and it's Golden Boy. No, it's Canelo. You know why it's Canelo? Because Canelo do what the fuck he want to do. If Canelo say, this is who if they bring it to the table and tell Canelo, look, we think it'll be good for you to go out. It's an easy fight for you. You can go to Japan and you can fight Ryota Murata. Okay, we think it'll be easy. Canelo can then say, nah, I'd rather fight in America and I'd rather fight Charlo or Andrade. And they have to make that fight because, and you know why I know this is because Canelo showed you that when he want to flex his muscle, he could flex his muscle. He showed you with the Triple G situation. The whole reason that they gave Canelo that huge contract is because they wanted to have three fights with Triple G. But Canelo, he flexed his muscle and he said, look, I'm running shit. I don't want to fight Triple G again. I'm not fighting Triple G again. So I don't give a damn what y'all saying. I'm not fighting him again. What's up? And he showed you that he's running shit. When that happened, he showed everybody that at the end of the day, he running shit. And so it ain't no excuse. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see what y'all talking about. Anthony Clark says, yeah, he had bad promotion back in the day, but what's the excuse now? P.S. Brandon is a bum. Brandon Adams ain't a bum. Okay, Brandon Adams is not a bum. But like I said, at the end of the day, you can say what you want, but Brandon Adams is not a bum. I'm not going to say that Brandon Adams is a A-level fighter neither. But Brandon Adams, he showed that he wasn't no bum. But Scott, let me see. Let me hold on. Scott Murata says, just wanted to hop in and say Wilder is trash. That's great. Okay, what was the point of that? Did that make your day to hop in here and say Wilder was trash? Like you had that on your mind the whole time to come in? You stupid as hell. What have you done in your life? Anthony Clark says the contract don't matter. Canelo is cash king. He fights who he wants. No excuses. Tell Josh to step up then. Don't talk us to death. I don't know what the hell you talking about. Facts that let me see. Rashawn Lunsford says could be something that increases popularity to fight in Japan, to fight the Japan dudes. Canelo don't need to increase his popularity. I mean, if in Japan, right? This is our Japan. If they watch boxing in Japan, they know who Canelo is. You feel me? Canelo don't need to increase his popularity. We seen Canelo's pay-per-view numbers before he got on DAZN. This shit is a fight that's protecting him, and it's some bullshit. Whatever you want to call it, it's some bullshit at the end of the day. It ain't no excuse for this shit. Scott Murata says Canelo calls the shots in boxing, period. Well, call Canelo and tell him to call a shot and fight somebody. Period. Clown ass. Anyway. Let me see. Anyway, so enough about Canelo. At the end of the day, this is some bullshit. John Reeves says Canelo's a shot caller. They don't tell him what to do. Exactly. So this is Canelo's doing. I ain't watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that shit. Anyway, I know there's some boxing on DAZN. So let me go ahead and get into this last topic so I can get in, so we can get off and we can all go watch this fight on DAZN. Tevin Farmer is fighting Jojo Diaz. That's a fight that I want to see. So make sure if you got DAZN, everybody tune in to watch Tevin Farmer fight Jojo Diaz, and that's tonight. Okay, later on tonight. Let me finish cooking because, like I said, I'm not finna be on here for too much longer at all because I want to go and watch these fights. Anyway, let me see. Ralph Estrada says, why your boy Charlo turned down the underdog fight? That's what I'm gonna get into now. Okay, now, Eddie Hearn comes on and he does an interview, right? He does an interview with Radio Raheem. Okay, y'all can go check that out. It's on YouTube. And Eddie Hearn, it was a lot of rumors that Eddie Hearn had sent Jermall Charlo an offer to fight Demetrius Dudu Andrade. Okay, he sent an offer for Jermall to fight Demetrius Andrade, and it was rumors that Jermall Charlo had turned that offer down or whatnot. Okay, had turned it down. So, Eddie Hearn tells a lot of lies. When I heard that, I'm like, okay, I don't really believe nothing that Eddie Hearn says just because Eddie Hearn says a lot of shit. And, about 75, 80% of the shit that Eddie Hearn says usually is a lie. Well, Eddie Hearn, he did an interview with Radio Raheem, and he came out and he showed the receipts. And what I mean by receipts, he showed that he showed the email of him going straight to Jermall Charlo. Okay, so he skipped over he skipped over talking to Al Heyman. We all know that Al Heyman is the head of PBC, that Al Heyman is the one that, makes everything happen for PBC. Okay. So Eddie Hearn, he decides to, skip Al Heyman and go straight to the source, the main source himself, the fighter. He sends Jermall Charlo. He showed the email. Okay. He showed everybody the email where he sent Jermall Charlo an offer. He says it was a lucrative offer. Okay. He sends Jermall Charlo an offer, to fight Demetrius Andrade. Okay. He said this is this year. This is I believe in December and in January. Okay. December, I believe. He showed, he showed the offer. He showed on the screen, he showed the email that he sent Jermall Charlo, and offered Jermall Charlo a fight with Demetrius Andrade, right? He sent a few, okay? So he says that the first time that he spoke to Jermall Charlo, he told him that he was going to be sending him a massive offer to fight Demetrius Andrade. He says that Jermall Charlo, gave him like an emoji face, like a thumbs up or whatever, like, okay, yeah, cool, send it, whatever. He says then he sends Jermall Charlo an offer, right? He says that Jermall Charlo refused to respond to the offer, right? He says Jermall Charlo didn't ever respond to the offer, to fight Demetrius Andrade on the zone. He said he sent Jermall Charlo an offer that was a lucrative offer. He's saying that it was more money than Jermall Charlo has ever made, and I'm going to say something about that. He don't know how much these guys are making at PBC, so he really don't know what the biggest purse Jermall Charlo has ever made. Okay, Danny Garcia said that he made like $5 million to fight Rod Soccer, and Danny Garcia told us that nobody knows how much money that they really making. So he don't know how much Jermall Charlo has really makes. But anyway, he said that he sent Jermall Charlo a lucrative offer, to fight a one-fight deal on the zone. And Jermall Charlo never responded to that email. He said Jermall Charlo or Al Heyman or none of the PBC ever responded to the offer that he sent Jermall Charlo to fight on the zone. Now, I got a problem with this on both ends. Now, the problem that I have with Eddie Hearn is Eddie Hearn refused to say or show how much money he offered to Jermall Charlo. He's saying that it was a lucrative offer, more money than Jermall Charlo has ever made, but he didn't show how much money that he offered Jermall Charlo. Okay. And like I said, I got a problem with it on both ends. I'm going to talk about first, I'm going to get into the problem that I have with the offer that Eddie Hearn sent. Okay. Now, he wouldn't show us how much money he sent. And, a lot of people going to say, well, that's business, so you don't show business. But any other time, Eddie Hearn, he come out and he tells you exactly how much he's offering these guys, right? He don't have a problem any other time with telling us how much he's offered. Any other time, Eddie Hearn never has a problem with showing and telling everybody what the offer is that he's making to these fighters. All of a sudden, this time, he want to cover up the offer. He showed everything but the offer. He don't want to show how much he offered. So, to me, that raised a lot of question marks. Now, on the other end with Jermall Charlo, why isn't Jermall Charlo responding to these offers? Why isn't Jermall Charlo in PBC negotiating to fight Demetrius Andrade? Because, like I said, I got a problem on both ends. Why isn't Eddie Hearn showing he's saying that he offered a lucrative offer, but why you gonna cover up the amount of money that you offered? Any other time, you don't have a problem with showing how much money you offer in these fighters. So I got a problem with that. If it was more money than Jermall Charlo has ever made, tell us and show us how much you offering. So that's some bullshit right there. Okay. But why isn't Jermall Charlo, why isn't he coming to the table to sit down if it's that much money on the table to fight Demetrius Andrade? Because look, I don't give a damn if Demetrius Andrade is known by fans or not. That don't really matter, because when we look at it on both sides, if Jermall Charlo is making a huge guarantee, well, you got to go over there and take that fight to show that you're the best. Because if we all know that if Jermall Charlo can go and beat Demetrius Andrade, right? Ain't nobody gonna question Jermall Charlo no more, period. To me, if he go and beat Demetrius Doodoo Andrade, if he beat Doodoo Stain, you know what I'm saying? If he beat Doodoo, ain't nobody gonna be able to trust him. I mean, ain't nobody gonna be able to say that he ain't the best at 160 pounds besides Canelo, and we all see the bullshit that Canelo pulling. So if he go beat Demetrius Andrade, to me, he better than Canelo, period. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not. So why are you not, Jermall Charlo, why are you not sitting down negotiating an offer to fight Demetrius Andrade? Okay? And now, Eddie Hearn, BFTB off in the building. Everybody go subscribe to BFTB Boxing. Right now, soon as you get off of here, or you could do it while you watching me. Everybody subscribe to BFTB Boxing. I'm telling you, if you go subscribe to BFTB Boxing, you gonna want to come back on here and thank me. For real. Like, it don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than BFTB Boxing. For real. Now, like I said, if you, like I said, you got to go and negotiate this fight if you Jermall Charlo, because you fought Dennis Hogan. You can't make the excuse and say, well, you ain't fighting Demetrius Andrade because don't nobody know who he is. Don't nobody give a damn about no Dennis Hogan. Didn't nobody know who Brandon Adams was unless you watched The Contender. But other than that, didn't nobody know who Brandon Adams was. And didn't nobody know who Highland or whoever them other dudes that you fought at 160 pounds. So if I'm gonna keep it 100, you know, it's lines only in here, but I gotta get on Jermall Charlo for this bullshit too. So if he offering you a 1-fight contract to go to DAZN, and then he's telling you what now, not only did Eddie Hearn say that, Eddie Hearn said that he don't have a problem with having Demetrius Andrade go and fight on PBC, and he will offer them the same amount of money to fight on PBC as he will on DAZN. So he said he don't have a problem. So if this is true, Eddie Hearn and Demetrius Doodoo Andrade want all the smoke. They want all the smoke. And it ain't no excuse for Jermall Charlo to not be answering the door when they knocking at your front door. If they knocking at your front door, Jermall Charlo, open the door, invite them in, and let them know that you with the business. Period. So like I said, I got a problem with this shit on both ends. If they at your front door and you a lion, show them, welcome them into the lion's den and show them who you really is and what you about. Period. Because at this point in time, if all of this is true, what Eddie Hearn is saying, Jermall Charlo, you ain't the big brother no more. Jermall Charlo is the big brother, and you can sit your ass down somewhere if this is true. Right? If they beat down your lions then and you don't want to open the cage to let them in, you ain't the big brother no more, Jermall Charlo. Move over, because Jermall Charlo is the one that's out here fighting all the top competition, and Jermall Charlo is the one that's showing that he want all the smoke with whoever, whenever, wherever, with everybody. So, like I said, if this is true and Jermall Charlo don't answer that door, don't open that cage to let the doo-doo man in, hey, I'm gonna have to let you know. And Jermall Charlo, I see him a lot when I go to these fights, and he can get mad if he want to. But like I said, I still support, Jermall and Jermall. I still rock with him. But like I said, if we gonna keep it 100, we gotta tell both sides of the story. We gotta tell both sides of the story. And that's just what it is. If I'm gonna get on here and talk about, this boxing shit and talk about what's going on, I gotta tell both sides of the story. So what's it gonna be, Jermall Charlo? What is it gonna be? You've been begging, begging to fight Canelo. You see Canelo ain't gonna fight you. You see Canelo pussy. For real. You see Canelo acting like a pussy. So I don't want you to turn around and start acting like a hoe yourself. Let's not take that Canelo route and, say like, well, since Canelo ain't fighting me, I'm going to fight all these fucking bums. Because truthfully, I don't want to see you fight no motherfucking Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you fight no Chris Eubank Jr. Because if you ask me, Chris Eubank Jr. wouldn't even be in the conversation to fight Jermall Charlo if Chris Eubank, if his last opponent hadn't got hurt. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? If that injury hadn't happened, Chris Eubank Jr. wouldn't even be in the conversation to fight Jermall Charlo. So if you got Doodoo Andrade knocking at the door, ain't no reason you shouldn't be going over and sitting down to the table like, like real men and negotiating. If everybody at the PBC, if they their own boss, well, flex your muscle and show everybody that you your own boss. You can move around like you want to, Jermall Charlo. So, like I said, if this is true, the man showed the receipts. He showed the receipts. So I can't sit up here as much as I want to. I cannot sit up here and tell you that Eddie Hearn was telling another lie for the 1500th time. I can't tell you that he's telling another lie because he showed receipts. You feel me? Now, like I said, I don't know why he was covering up the number, why he didn't want to tell everybody what the number was. But if the number was a low number, that's why you come to the table and you negotiate. And you negotiate until you get the number that you want to go over there and fight on the zone. But Eddie Hearn, call his bluff. Call his bluff, okay? Send Demetrius Doodoo Andrade an offer to fight on the zone. Call his bluff. He said he'll let Doodoo Andrade fight on the zone for the same amount of money. He actually said that he would come out of his pocket to pay them the same amount of money to go and fight on PBC. My bad. Did I say the zone? I meant PBC. Eddie Hearn, call his bluff. Call Eddie Hearn bluff. Have him go over there to have them send him an offer to fight on PBC. And like I said, I don't know no boxing fan that wouldn't watch that fight. And it's very few boxing fans that have half of a fucking brain. Because I mean, some of y'all don't have a fucking half a brain. And let's just keep that real. Some of y'all just, get on here just to say dumb shit. But if you have half of a brain, you would give the winner of that fight all the respect, at 160 pounds. Whoever wins that fight, nobody can say nothing bad about him. You know, I get on here and I call Boo Boo Andrade, I call him Doodoo and all of that, you know. But at the end of the day, I know that Boo Boo Andrade is the truth. Even though, you know, he ain't fought nobody, but you know, I think that him not fighting nobody for all these years is one, you know, him being just making bad business decisions, you know, with these promoters that he getting with. And then on the other end, I think it's guys that's avoiding him. You know, I think that he's being avoided. But like I said, I didn't even know what time is it. I didn't even know that it was damn. I didn't know that it was 7 o'clock. I got to get off here. Like I said, everybody go check out Doodoo Andrade, Boo Boo Andrade. He's fighting tonight on DAZN. Also, Tevin Farmer is fighting Jojo Diaz on DAZN. Everybody go check them fights out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and coming and, you know, cooking with me in here. If I didn't get to your comments, you know, my bad. I'm kind of in the rush to get off here. I know everybody want to go and watch these fights. Like I said, once again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, Everything Boxing on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit my like button. And anything ain't everything, but around here, everything boxing. And you already know what I do. I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. I'm out.